Hello, I'm Andrew Pritchard. Thank you for watching today's Northeast Regional Forecast, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. We'll start off with a satellite picture here on Tuesday morning. We've got a pair of upper level disturbances, one tracking through the Great Lakes region right now and one spinning away off the northeast coast, and these continue to lift off to the east-northeast. Now, this storm system across the Great Lakes is also dragging a cold front with it, extending through the Corn Belt, bringing cloudy conditions to parts of the central and the eastern Corn Belt. Warm air feeding up in advance of that one is going to keep us pretty warm over the next couple of days here in the northeast region before we shift to a pattern that might include a little bit more precipitation for us as we head into the weekend and next week. Taking a close look here, the high-resolution NAM model, that's going to show us a pair of things. First, that storm system again off the coast, moving out of here, bringing rain showers to parts of Maine just for the next 24 hours or so. Before we turn our attention to this little wave moving through the Great Lakes, that'll bring some precipitation here towards the middle part of this loop, which will be during the day on Wednesday. Maybe some light snow falling across the, again, northern regions here as we get into Wednesday night. Let's kind of time this out, starting with the Tuesday afternoon. Starting to see some of that rain and maybe some thunder in there in parts of Pennsylvania and New York State. As we get into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, this is making its way again through New York and Pennsylvania. Now as we head into, I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these off here since I'm already doing so. We get into the Tuesday overnight, now into the wee hours of Wednesday morning. We're starting to see this system make its way out of the area, bringing again light showers as you wake up on Wednesday morning. Across parts of New Hampshire, Vermont, the state of Maine, maybe northern New York State as well, getting in on some of this light rain shower activity. And then again, as this moves out late in the day Wednesday, getting into Wednesday evening, maybe seeing some of that cold air bring in some snow flurries on the backside, but not talking about any accumulation, anything like that, just maybe some snowflakes mixing in on the backside. Now we head into the later part of the week. We're getting into Thursday now. This loop will freeze here Thursday evening, going into Thursday night. And we've got our next system kind of trying to make its way up from the southwest here, maybe again bringing some shower and thunderstorm activity into the region as we get towards the end of the week. Total precipitation through Friday morning, and this is going to be again from that little system that makes its way through here Wednesday, bringing again mostly half an inch or less amounts here to the northern region. What you're seeing down here, these higher totals making their way up here, this is from that system as we get into later in Thursday into Friday morning, starting to see some heavier precipitation spread into the region. If we take the European long-range model and just take this all the way out for the next 10 days, so through the end of the weekend, I apologize, this is for the next 5 days, taking us through this weekend, getting into Sunday morning, and that's where you're seeing again these heavier precipitation total amounts move into the region from the southwest, looking at maybe upwards of 2 inches or so plus across parts of the eastern, northeastern regions of the northeastern region. It's a mouthful there, but talking about Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, southward towards Massachusetts, Rhode Island. That's where we're expecting the heavier precipitation over the next 5 days, again, because this is from multiple storm systems, with the heavier precipitation off to the south holding off till we get to probably Friday. Taking a wider look now, looking at the European long-range model, and we'll go ahead and time this out here once I get the ability to do so. And what we're looking at is on the left, we've got 500 millibar vorticity. And you know what we look for here is, again, these little troughs in the flow. So here we're looking at kind of the jet stream flow, and we see these the U shape in the jet stream. That's our trough. We look for regions of troughing, and we also look for these bright areas of coloring. If I take the drawings off here, you see the bright areas of coloring. These vorticity maximum, this is where we look for the development of storm systems and then the associated precipitation with those. So they kind of match them up right there, where we talk about the Great Lakes off the northeast coast and then across the southern plains. And so we want to try and watch this as we go through the next week. And I'll just point out one thing. As we finish the week, we're mostly quiet across the central U.S. into at least maybe the western half of the Corn Belt, where we're staying mostly dry. But as we get into past this weekend, we're now on Saturday, we're seeing the possibility of, again, that heavy precipitation from the midweek system. Watch this one. It comes up from Texas, and as it gets into the northeast, it really begins to develop into a more powerful and more well-organized storm system. So here we go, getting to Friday afternoon, Friday evening. Now this thing's really ramping up on Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. That's when we expect the heaviest precipitation across the northeast part of the northeast region, and maybe the potential for some snow mixing in on the backside. Again, not looking at any major accumulation. We played this out into next week. Now we're into Sunday night, getting into Monday evening, and we're kind of shifting to this pattern where we see more subtle storm systems developing over the central U.S. Generally in this region, they're going to be tracking off to the east into the northeast region. So as we get towards the end of the week, seeing some heavy precipitation come up from the southwest. This is coming up here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, seeing heavy precipitation in this region. And then as we get into next week, just looking for the development of quick-moving systems bringing light precipitation with them. So a bit of an unsettled pattern here, but not one, once we get beyond the weekend, that's going to be bringing just flooding rains or anything of that nature. What does this look like in terms of temperatures then? Again, remember Tuesday high temperatures, seeing that warm air come in from the southwest, still seeing some precipitation in this region, cloud cover and precipitation. That's why we're a bit cooler. We get into the day on Wednesday, seeing that Great Lakes trough move through. Again, we're seeing precipitation in this region, keeping us a bit cooler. Getting into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, remember we're seeing that big storm system track in through the region now, so seeing again heavy precipitation across this area and maybe some snow mixing in on the north side here, but again, heavy cloud cover, heavy precipitation keeping us a bit cooler on Saturday. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 2 weeks in our Thursday morning ag forecast video, and I'll have your next Northeast regional update for you right here on midday on Friday, and we'll take a deeper dive into that weekend storm system and its potential impacts in the Northeast region. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again on Friday.